Great. Sorry. They're trying to put everybody in different house districts. I don't think it's going to work right now. Just grab a seat.
They said they were going to do it later.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I think there's too many people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I put right there?
Please, go for it.
I did.
Oh, good.
Check. 1, 2.
All right, folks, if you can hear me, please clap once. If you can hear me, please clap twice. If you can hear me, please clap 3 times. All right. Hey, y'all. Y'all excited to win this thing? I said, are y'all excited to win this thing? My name is Drew Romano, and I was in Iowa this past weekend, which, right, I can't say we won Iowa. We won Iowa, okay? Right, we won Iowa. So you gotta think where we first started. Less than a year ago, Bernie was at 3% of the polls, was completely ignored by the media, had no attention at all, no super PACs, and here he is, tying with a household name who had every single card in their favor. We won Iowa! Showed the establishment that we can come together and we can make a political revolution together. Right? So this past weekend, we were knocking on a bunch of doors, over hundreds of doors, and we talked to this one man. He comes out and he's wearing like these stained sweatpants, beer belly, unwashed beard, like this kind of guy that you're just kind of like, I don't know. But he ended up being one of the best people that we talked to that entire weekend. Because this past weekend, I learned that my generation takes for granted that we can get on the internet, we can get on PolitiFact and see what's going on. But the older generations, they only have Fox News, they only have CNN. So it's up to us to educate the people. And it's up to us to go door to door, let your neighbors know that we can fix our communities together. This man that we talked to, we were able to educate him about Bernie. And towards the end, we were like, yeah, you can just call this number if there's a snowstorm or you need help getting there. He said, I don't need that because I will crawl through the snow to go caucus for Bernie Sanders. That is the enthusiasm that we need from every single volunteer and every single person who's going to go out and caucus for Bernie Sanders. And also, let me just say that all of you are so important now more than ever. People ask me, they're like, Drew, you're doing this for free? You're going out and volunteering. This is basically a second full-time job for me. You're doing this all for free. You went to Iowa for 10 hours unpaid? And I said, yeah, because I'm working for the People's Campaign. For the people. I'm out there volunteering for you guys. I refuse to accept money from a campaign if that politician is getting their money to pay me from a corporation or big money. Right? If I wanted to get paid by Goldman Sachs, I'd work for Goldman Sachs, not a political campaign. We are going to show this country what Citizens United really looks like. We are going to band together. We will guarantee that every single person in this room, every single person in this city, every single person in this country has guaranteed health care and an education. We are going to combat climate change together. Together we're going to do it, and together we can show the world that we can start a political revolution. So you know what I have to say? Obama might have brought the change, but Bernie's going to break the banks, y'all. He's going to break the banks. So it is my pleasure to introduce Will Easton and Jordan Ochoa from the National Campaign. He's a tough act to follow, let me tell you. All right, so the basic question I want to ask first is, who here wants to see Bernie Sanders elected president in November this year?
No, wait. Really? Who wants to see Bernie Sanders as president?
now you can go.
Yeah, I just had to check and make sure people didn't come here for the Martin O'Malley rally. So you're in the right place. Don't worry. It's awesome to see so many of you here. Thank you for coming out tonight on such a cold night. So my name is Will Easton. I'm the Regional Organizing Director for Bernie. I'm based out of both Burlington and Columbus, Ohio, where I live. I've been traveling around a lot, doing these barnstorms. Incredible energy, although I think you guys are the biggest one we've ever had. So we've got 8 of these events going tonight and tomorrow night in the Denver area, up to Fort Collins, Golden, Aurora, a bunch of different places. So if you want to go tomorrow, there's probably one near you, if you just can't get enough, which is awesome. But I've done a bunch, St. Paul, Chicago, all around Ohio, Indiana, and everybody is fired up about Bernie. I mean, what you're seeing here, multiply that times 200, and that's what we're doing with these burn storms, right? All over the place, and people are coming out, and it's awesome. Let me ask, for just a quick show of hands, how many of you this is your first political campaign you've ever been involved with? All right, that's a good number. But a lot of old hands too, and it's that mix that's going to give us the energy we need. Just some quick housekeeping items. Restrooms over there, to my left, to your right, front right. I want to acknowledge some candidates here who I think are here tonight. Michael Kerrigan, running for DA, over here. Go talk to Michael if you're interested in his race. We have Jack Kroll for CU Regent. Don't know who Jack is. And I think also John Biggerstaff is here, running for State Senate. There he is, right in the middle. Thanks for coming out, you guys.
And we have Celine Dion. She's over here too. Just kidding.
He's lying. So let me just give you a preview of how the program will go tonight. We're going to do some quick intros and get to know your neighbor, kind of icebreaker thing. I'm going to give you guys an overview of the national race and what our strategy is. I was giving a different, well, it's about today. Anyway, what we're doing out of Burlington to win all the early states, hopefully, and then the March 1st states, and then onward. This is going to be a 50-state race, thanks to many of you and your contributions. So, looking forward to that. Then Jordan's going to talk to you about local efforts here in Colorado, how you can get plugged in, make a difference. Obviously, less than a month now to go till your caucuses, and now's the time to step it up. And this is an incredible power right here in this room. And if we can put that to work effectively, I see a big victory for Bernie here in Colorado on March 1st. That's what I want to see, and you guys are going to help. We'll do some questions and answers, and then you'll walk out of here plugged into the ways that you'll need to help over the next few weeks, both here in Colorado and then even afterwards if you'd like to. So, you want to go ahead and do the intros and stuff?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jordan Ochoa, field organizer for Denver here. Thank you guys so much for all the volunteering efforts you've been doing in Denver and throughout the state of Colorado. We are like one of the most organized states in the entire nation for Bernie. The national campaign is always saying like, oh, look at Colorado, look what they're doing, because we're doing such an awesome job. So it's about the togetherness that we have here as a big community and a big family. So give yourselves a big round of applause for that, please. I want you to turn to somebody around you who you don't know. Shake their hand, say hi, introduce yourself, tell them which house you live in.
Hold on, there's instructions here.
And tell them why you like Bernie, why you're here tonight.
And listen well, because we'll ask you about your partner. Okay, switch over to your neighbor if you haven't switched. Lost item, public service announcement. Black earmuffs. Black earmuffs? Anyone missing these? Anyone? Please clap once. If you can hear me, please clap twice. If you can hear me, please clap 3 times. That's a good organizer's trick to remember too, if you ever need to run a meeting like that. So I don't have too much mic cord here, but I want to hear from some folks in the front about something they heard really inspiring from their neighbor. I told you I'd be asking you about this. Somebody raise their hand and talk about their neighbor. Someone here. Yes, sir.
Okay, I asked my neighbor what he loved about Bernie. He said he's a man who can't be bought.
Can't be bought, exactly. Exactly. Anybody over here? I need somebody in the front. Oh, you got it.
My wonderful accomplice here in my housing district, Darren, Garrett, my apologies, Garrett. One of the first things that he said to me about why he's supporting Bernie Sanders was his stance on climate change. And I think that's extremely important given the circumstances that are currently surrounding the entire globe. And I think that that's totally awesome. So, thank you, Garrett.
Okay, one more. Anybody? Yes, sir. And just squeeze right through here.
Next to me is Sarah here. I asked her what she liked about Bernie. She said common sense. We talked a little further. She's working hard, trying to get a mortgage together and pay student loans at the same time. She's very interested in Bernie's position on college education.
All right. Excellent. I mean, there's so many good things, whether it's the campaign finance reform, without which a lot of other things are going to be very hard. Whether it's the fact that he's been so constant and so true and saying the same things for so many. I mean, there's so many great reasons to be supporting Bernie. We all have all of them, and that's why we're here. So, let me talk to you about how it's going. You heard from Drew. Iowa, we all believe we won that because there was nothing was in our favor. And yet a whole bunch of people just like yourselves pulled that one off. Next we head on to New Hampshire, right? That's looking very favorable for us. That's going to be a good morale booster come next week. After that, Nevada. We got great people working out there. We're focusing on it really hard. And after that, South Carolina might be a little more tough, but we'll see how that goes. The overall strategy we've been working under for the past several months, really, is to focus on these 4 early states, right? And we did what I think we needed to do in Iowa. New Hampshire's gonna turn out well for us, and I believe Nevada will too. That bends the arc, right? Has anyone heard the phrase presumptive front runner anytime in the past few weeks? No. And while the national polls we're looking at right now, still maybe Bernie's down, I don't know, 10 or 15 points. Which one? Do national polls matter? No. Which polls matter? State polls. Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, South Carolina. Then comes Super Tuesday, and that's where you guys come in. So we have this incredible, the strength of Bernie. Let me ask, how many of you have contributed to the campaign? All right, almost every hand goes up. Exactly. Thanks to you And let me just mention too, yesterday I believe it was, record was set, $3 million raised in one day, one freaking day. That is just so important, and here's why. That gives us the resources we need to run a 50-state strategy, right? And we're going all the way to the convention, and we're going to have more delegates in the end. And that's how we get Bernie elected as Democratic nominee for president. Then we win the general, because the guys on the other side are all kind of. I shouldn't go there. I want to talk about Bernie, right? And even on like your social media and stuff, talk about Bernie, please. Don't rip down other people. Lift up Bernie. Okay. So our strategy here is to use this incredible grassroots strength in ways, and this is kind of my job. I'm an organizing director, right? And I've been running around the Midwest doing this. Here I am in Denver. We're trying to plug you guys into doing what needs to get done to get him the delegates that he needs to become the nominee, right? And if any of you have worked in political campaigns before, that's really a two-step process. You ID your supporters, you identify them, and you get them out to the polls, or to the caucus in this case. And we have this incredible strength here in all of you, and your smarts, and your technology, and the technology we have coming out of Burlington, built by some really smart people, to allow you to do that in the most efficient way possible. We are trying to make valuing our volunteers' time is one of our biggest sort of overarching goals. We're doing a lot of calling, voter ID calling. That's what allowed us to do what we did in Iowa, right? We had a good field staff, but there were literally millions of calls poured into Iowa in January. That's what allowed the field staff to go out and, if any of you have ever gone and knocked on doors or done called through a list to get somebody out, get people out to vote, it kind of sucks when the list is bad, when you're knocking on doors and they're, Romney supporters or McCain supporters or whatever. We don't want you to. We want to focus on, we got to find the people that support Bernie, and they're out there. We just got to find them. So it's really a two-stage process. You ID them, you turn them out. That is the national overall strategy. We're now focusing, 2-3 weeks ago when I was doing these barns, we were much more focused on Iowa. Now it's pivoting. My boss, Becky, has gone to Nevada to get the vote out there. Everybody else we are bringing, because Colorado's been doing such a good job, that tomorrow 10 big level organizers are showing up here to ramp up your efforts. And we got a little under a month to go. They're going to augment what's been already going on here and cover some of the areas that haven't been able to be covered. I'm thinking Colorado looks really good, and the way Super Tuesday shakes out, everybody thinks we could really beat expectations there, because everybody expects, that's a bunch of southern states, so Secretary Clinton's going to win all those. But we got Colorado, we got Minnesota, and Minnesota's very well organized. Great state director up there, doing exactly what you guys are doing here. We got a couple smaller states, Vermont, Massachusetts, right? So that's going to be a pitched battle, and a lot of it has to do, I'd really like to run up some delegates right here in Colorado, because I think you guys are definitely Bernie people.
Let's do it!
So in that vein, having talked about national, I'm going to turn it back over to Jordan for state updates.
Yeah, so obviously we're very well organized here. Thank you again. At the beginning of the campaign, we had about 90,000 people in the state of Colorado who either donated or they signed on to BernieSanders.com and said that they're going to volunteer for the campaign here in Colorado. So we started out with this huge base of volunteers, and it's just continued to grow. We have about 250,000 phone calls to make, and we've made over, about half of them maybe, but we have to continue to get in those phone calls every single week. So during the weekdays, we're making phone calls. On the weekends, we're doing canvassing, just like you all have been doing. Who's been doing some canvassing out here?
All right, you guys are heroes. You guys are totally heroes. I love you.
So when we break out in some house districts today, talk to others about getting involved in canvassing. And you're going to get signed up for some volunteering activities coming up this weekend and beyond. But it's about bringing people in, getting people in the community and letting them know about Bernie.
Let me add, Jordan. So, like I said, we got less than 4 weeks at this point. What inspired me into this, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I had a good paying job, but I decided to chuck it and work for Bernie. And well, because it's a unique chance, right? We are not, I can't say in our lifetimes, but have you ever seen a political revolution starting like this? We got 4 weeks, right? Now is the time, if you can take some time off, that vacation time, just we gotta put this thing in third and fourth and fifth gear and press on the accelerator over the next few weeks, because we won't get it. Especially Colorado is not going to get another chance. I'll be moving on to other states, but you guys, this is it.
Yeah, and like you said, Colorado becomes such a huge state after what happened in Iowa a couple nights ago. So it's going to be so crucial for us to come together and just continue to build this movement from the ground up. And Colorado is just, straight born from the grassroots organizing, of course. So,
you need to get to their caucus.
And you need to, I was just going to say, thank you, Bernie.
Get to their caucus.
This gentleman here, his name is actually Bernie. He brings me cookies at the East office. He actually donated this Bernie sign over here. That's pretty cool. Yes, it's passionate people like him and people of all ages and from all different backgrounds who are coming together for Bernie. That's all of us. It's not about him, it's about all of us. So, who's going to go caucus on March 1st? Again, who's caucusing on March 1st? All right.
Yeah, let me talk about some national organizing stuff. So, in terms of the tools and things, so we're gonna break you guys out into some house districts in a little bit. You'll talk to your district captains about what's coming up, how to get plugged into that. But I also want to mention too some of the national organizing tools that we have available for you. So as Jordan mentioned, as I said, phone banking, very, very important. If you go on to BernieSanders.com or map.BernieSanders.com, will get you there directly. You can look for a phone bank anywhere near in your neighborhood by any zip radius. You can look for Canvas events. All these events are getting posted there. So if you find yourself with a free day, go find somewhere to canvas or make calls. We have some other specialized teams that need a little bit of help. Not a ton of people, but if you go on bernkit.com, BERNKIT, those are all listed there. There's some people doing the back-end work to make the phone dialer effective. And the phone dialer is getting a lot better. I want to apologize to anybody who's had difficulties with it. We are aware of those. We're taking, this is technology that isn't necessarily, has never been scaled up like we're doing it right now, and have run into some hiccups, but we think we got those solved. We have some people who do ground control. That means calling other folks to get them out to volunteer events or events like this. We have hustlers, text for Bernie, where you're also doing that same kind of thing. We just use the hustling. We sent, I believe, 130,000 text messages into Iowa right before the caucuses, and we believe that had a really big effect, especially with younger folks, cell phones who can't be reached by landlines. So we're firing on all cylinders here. I don't think that our opponent's campaign has got this type of broad technology or the adaptability that we do.
Or the energy.
Or the energy. It comes with some hiccups sometimes. We're building the bus as we fly down the freeway at 80 miles an hour. The driver has her foot on the accelerator, and thousands of people are jumping on every day. And it's awesome. And we're going to keep that bus rolling right to the White House. Lots of, they're all on the website and on bernkit.com. Please do get involved as much as you can over the next 4 weeks. And even after that, because my next job we're going to let them rest up a little bit, but part of my territory covers Iowa. So after they, take a breather, I'm going to be going there to get them to be making phone calls back to Colorado and mobilize for you guys. It's a trade-off, right? Because there are Bernie, folks supporting Bernie just like you in Iowa, and they want to, Colorado is now the new Iowa, basically. A lot of attention going to be on this state. So,
all right, so we're going to break into different house districts. If you know which house district you're in, we're going to just direct you to a corner and we'll get you going. So, if you're in House District 1, go over to this corner.
We're all going to be moving around. It's going to be chaos for a little bit.
Hold on a second. Don't move yet.
Don't move till the end.
House District 2 is going to be right here.
Right here, right in the front area. Yeah.
House District 2 is over here. So House District 4 is going to be over here.
Over in that corner.
House District 5 is going to be right over there. 6.
Back in the back corner.
8 in the
back in the back center.
And 9 over there.
And anyone whose district we didn't call, please meet us in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking to you guys. 6, where did 6 go? 6 would be right middle of that wall.
Thank you. Yeah,
Take
we
it
got
to
a
their
huge crowd
spots.
here.
I just moved there. That's why.
I don't.
District is
2. And there have been moments. Yeah. Exactly. And I was thinking, hey, Jamie. I was thinking, 68 we were doing this, And the closest to it was McCarthy. That's who I was born. Wonderful to meet you.